All right, you guys, welcome back to the trailer build. Yeah, a lot of people don't want to see this, but it's what I'm doing right now, so I'm just going to film it, and I'm going to have a full build of this trailer when I'm done. I'll have a full build video just like I did with the bus. That's what I'm doing, and eventually I think people will watch that one. Some people don't want to see the little stuff, but some people really want to see this, what I'm doing here. Because again, this is going to carry... I may end up carrying the camper and the Beetle to a show next week. It's the 4th week right now. It's the 3rd today, 3rd of July. So anyway, let's take a look at what I'm doing now. So I skipped ahead a little bit. I got my taillights wired. Those are all wired up. And then I'm using these clamps here to hold everything in place. I want to make sure my wires don't move. So what I did on these here is it's still, is it dry? It's still a little bit wet. So I did this last night. And so silicone these. So I put them in. Let's get it closer so you can see. I siliconed them in so that they won't move. All right, that's the main thing. And wherever it went through, you guys say, well, you got to use a grommet. Well, you can. But what I did is I used silicone. So what I do is center it in, and then I put silicone all the way around it. And that kind of does what a grommet does, but it keeps it from moving around too, so that it won't slide out. Plus I put it in here, and these are something called, these are similar to what they call Wago clamps, and I didn't know about these, but one of the YouTube subscribers, Moston, if you've seen him, comment, he told me about these, and I said, man, what are those? You know, what's a Wago clamp? So I looked them up. And the Wago clamps are more expensive. These are a little cheaper, and they do the same thing. We'll demo one in a second. So I got the wiring in over there. I'm working my way along. I need some more of these clamps here. And then, like I said, wherever it goes through. This here I'm not really worried about. They're so loose. It's not, and it's really dull. I don't think we're going to have an issue. I mean, trailer companies didn't put them in there, but wherever it's going to attach here, so I might put one more clamp here because I'm out of them right now, and then I'll put some silicone on it to keep it from moving around, keep it centered. Same thing here. I haven't got this one done yet, so I've got it in place, but I'm out of clamps here. Let's go to the other side and see what we're going to do next. So I work out here early in the morning and late in the evening. Late in the evening I have shade 100% right here. So in the shade it's not very hot, but in the middle of the day it is cooking right here. So I'm just working early in the morning right now, and then I'll go get my clamps a little bit later today, and then we'll finish this up. I'll have all the wiring all done, and I still need to finish my box. I don't know if I showed you guys this. I took some pieces here and I cut them with the plasma cutter, and I just made this into a box. Somebody came over and they said, hey, why don't you could turn that into a box. Initially I had hit up Beaver for one of these, but they were out of them, and then they go, oh yeah, we're in them now, we send them to you. So I was like, oh, I could use that on this trailer. So if you're looking for one of these, maybe I'll put a link in the description. These are a pretty good deal on Beaver's website. So if you're looking for some sort of a box to put on your trailer, this is really the way to go. It's actually cheaper for that box than me buying this aluminum. This aluminum on REM prices was a lot more expensive than that box. So anyway, but this kind of takes up this space here. So this thick frame is going to be like there, and I'll have 2 doors that flip up. And then this you can come off easily, just slide it out. Once I have the wood on there, this will be easier to get on and off, because standing on there, it's pretty heavy. So standing on the poles or on the ground, it's at the wrong level. You need to be standing up on the wood, and then we'll get that on there. So we're gonna be getting our wood here in this video. We're gonna finish this whole trailer up. I've got stainless screws, you know, I don't know if I have enough of them yet, but anyway, we'll keep moving on. We got our electric jack on here, works amazing. I got a place to put the battery. I put this all in there so I can put a battery on there. There's just got this thing all dialed in. This is going to be a really cool trailer when I'm done. I got LED lights all the way along the edge. I don't know if I showed you guys those. So we're going to have a lot of lights all the way along, LEDs. So anyway, let me show you guys how one of these Wago types clamps, these are how these things work. I mean, this is tiny little wire. You can put any size wire in here, and these work better than your crimp connectors and all that. So you put your thing in here, your wire in. Come on, be good. Put it in the hole, and you just flip this little lever. And I don't care how hard you pull on that, you're going to break the wire before that thing comes out of there. I don't know if you guys can see it okay, hopefully. I'm in frame. But yeah, you cannot pull that wire out. And so you can put the tiniest wire in here, where if I use crimp connectors with these little tiny wires, these are like, I don't know what size that is. The crimp connectors are gonna be an issue. You know, it's gonna slide out at some point. Even if I have the inside out, you know, tool like this one here turns it inside out, that little clamp turns it inside out, it's still gonna slide out of there. They have these in 2, 3, 4, 5 wires. So you just flip this up. So if it's 3 wires, you flip each one up, and you can put each wire in individually, and then you just flip this thing down, and that holds the wire in. And man, I'll put a link in the description for these. These work amazing. The Wago ones are a little more expensive. They also work good too. So I've been just fishing wire. This is the hard part right here. Get it to go through the hole. Especially on camera. Get it nice and straight, just goes right through. And then I'll strip the end here with these. And I'm not going to show you guys my whole wiring. It just takes way too long. But it's so much faster with these. That's what I wanted to show you guys. You just stick it in a hole, flip that down, cannot pull it out. It's on there better than the crimp connector. So then I'll put a clamp on here, run this underneath, go to the next one, through the hole. You guys can get an idea. This takes hours. So anyway, I'll bring you back in, but I just want to show you guys the Wago type clamps. I'll put a link in there for you guys if you're trying to figure it out. You can put 5 wires in one of those things, and it works really good. So there's 5 ones with 5 and 6. I don't know how many they have in one, but I've got a bunch of them. And in the back, I have a bunch of Wagos with 4 or 5 wires plugged in them, because all this stuff all connects together. All right, I'll bring you guys back in a little bit. All right, so I got all the wiring done, and I think I have my keys. So I got it plugged in. I did the loom here, ran it up here, just wrapped it up with black tape. That'll work. And then I've got everything run, and then everywhere it goes through, it's got silicone and places to hold it. Put the key in the truck. Okay, where is it? I'll turn on the headlights. Turn on the left turn signal. All right, looks like we got running lights over here. That looks cool. A lot of lights on the sides. I don't want to put too many. So that's working. So the brake lights will work. Headlights are working. Headlights working over here. Let's check here. All these running lights are working. Oh, the brake controller is doing something. I don't know. It's flickering though. I don't know what's going on there. Maybe it's not right. Yeah. Not sure what on that. I have to get somebody out there and listen to them. See if they're. That doesn't look right. It should be. Something's doing something. Well, it's. There it goes. Let's flickering, and then it goes to 8, stops, 10. Yeah, it's working. And the brake controller was just freaking out. There it goes, 3.5. So it's probably working. Let's try the right turn. Right turn's here. All right, what do we got back here? Right turn signal, looks cool. They're nice and bright. I mean, it works, and it's on the right circuit. I guessed a little on that. Wasn't sure which one, I just had to guess. I figured red was brighter than black, and white's the ground, so usually. So I figured that would be the brighter one, and I'm right. Okay, so that's done. Put on auto again. I gotta tell you, that was a good 4 to 6 hours of work to wire this thing, so yeah. Okay, so now we gotta get onto these doors here. I gotta get those things put on here. Once they're on here, then this thing is done, and it's ready to move, where I can take it down to get the wood, because I got to take this down to get the wood, because I got to figure out, again, I lost my sheet. I don't know, maybe I didn't, but I'll look at it and make sure, count them out again, and get my number on this thing, and I'll just have them drop it on there on the forklift, and I'll just tie it to the things, and I'll screw a few down or whatever, I don't know, and then I'll take the rest home and then start screwing them in. I mean, that's a lot of screws, so it's going to take hours. Okay, got it cut out for me. So we got the lumber. It's $329 with California lumber tax. Those of you guys who don't know, when you go to buy lumber, on your bill, look, there's a lumber tax they add that they don't put anywhere else, they don't tell you about, so a lot of people don't know this exists, and they wonder why housing is so expensive in California. Well, that's part of it. There's a lot of other things as well. But anyway, with the lumber tax, it was $329. Not too bad. So, yeah, we're gonna start putting this down. I have a planer, electric planer, so I might have to plane some of the edges because they're not exactly straight. Of course, you know, never is. But I'll probably just put a couple screws in down here, and then as I put the screws in down here, then I'll clamp it that direction and try and get it down as straight as I can. And I'm not gonna coat this yet. I don't want to coat it until after it's in, so it's going to be a little pain in the ass. I don't know how I'm going to get underneath. I'm going to put it with something on it, but because it's too wet, and I don't want to dry it out because then it'll all warp. So you want to make sure you get it in while it's still wet, guys. Wait till it all dries out. In fact, the lumber yard was kind of desolate. It looked like stuff had been drying out there for a while, so it's not a lot of lumber is moving right now. So anyway. Longer life. Ha, right. Well, here's the progress so far. It's going to keep drilling and setting pieces. Hopefully I end up not too much to take off from one of them. Slide it in there, and I mean, theoretically it should fit, but I mean, it's not gonna, you know, there's got to be, everything has to be perfectly tight for it to fit, so it's down to the 1/4 of an inch. So anyway, yeah, let's keep going. Whew. Finally got this thing to fit in the middle. I just used my electric planer there, down there. Hey, walking all the way down there, that electric planer. And had to beat it around a little bit. Of course, it's a little rattlesnaking. So it took a little bit of work to beat it into place there. And so yeah, there's little gaps here and there. I don't really care. It's just a trailer deck, so I can finally screw that thing in. And off camera, I went ahead and got these ones in. Got them laid out. Just threw a couple screws in there. Waiting for the rest of my screws to come still. And I'm going to cut this down. I just mark that with the carpenter's square here. And let's just line it up to the next one. Well, that one's not going to work, is it? You can see that thing, I'll just have to snap a line on that. Yeah, just run all the way down to the other end. So, got that to do still. I'll put the rest of the screws in here. That's a lot of work putting on this wood. But at least this is lined up now. So, start drilling it. I don't know if I can drill it yet because I got to put a couple screws in it, and I've only got, let's see, one, maybe two left. So maybe I could put one in this end, one on that end or something, and then I can drill it. So if I drill it first and it moves, then I have hard trouble finding the holes. The reason I had to go pre-drill is because the thicker steel, if I go through the thinner steel, like I had thin steel one, thick steel the others, thin and thick. If I go through the thin ones, I can go right through it. But if I go to the thick ones, that ain't happening. So I can't use the self-drilling. It wears the bit out before it gets through it. So I gotta pre-drill them all. Anyway, let's get on to the next thing here. Got to cut all these here. Yeah, I'll bring you guys in for some of that. I'm not sure. Guys, use my Bauer tool stuff. I mean, I love these things. They just work great. So I got all this deck done using all that stuff. I mean, I've got a lot of miles on those things and they're working fine still. The only thing that Harbor Freight really made, in a lot of years that was good is Bauer. And the Hercules, you saw the drill bit earlier. I don't know. It just, I don't know if Hercules is any better than a Bauer, but Bauer, I just like it because it has a lot of. You can get a lot of variety of different tools. So I like that, even though I'm not sponsored by them or anything, but it's a good deal. So we'll talk about it. All right. So all I got to do now is screw it in, and I don't have screws till tomorrow. So I guess I'll bring you back in as we get the final screws in. I'll put the batteries in the charger. I think I'm done for tonight. And yeah, all we gotta do is punch screws and drill holes and hit screws. Pre-drilled a bunch of them, and I'll probably pre-drill them all. Yeah, tomorrow, little by little, I'll just come out here and do a few holes, go back inside, and then when my screws get here, I'll just hammer them all in and just knock them out in an hour. It's a lot of screws though. A lot. I got 200 and I'm out. So I got another, I don't think another 100's gonna make it. I mean, $40 for 200 screws. These are not cheap ones. These are the stainless, because I figured, you know what I mean, this is gonna get weathered all the time. It's gonna be just sitting out here, and I'm gonna cover this some oil here in a little bit. We'll come back into that a little bit later. All right, you definitely don't want to do this and then walk up on the deck and then go right in your house. But this is a combination of used motor oil and used transmission fluid. And it's I'm over the rocks, so some's going to go through the cracks here, and we're not worried about it. Treat my rocks too, because I leak oil on this stuff all the time. So this part I already did, and it's soaked in. It takes a few days for it to really get rid of the oil smell and all that, but I don't know. You use like linseed oil, and that doesn't even last at all. This will last a lot longer than that, because it's a little thicker oil. So I didn't put any diesel in it. If you put diesel in it, it'll soak in a little faster, but I didn't put any diesel in it because the diesel just dries out of it. It's almost like a solvent. So I'll do this a couple times, I think, and then I got that whole deck to do. All right, so little by little it's soaking into this stuff. Takes a while. So like this area here, it's kind of almost all soaked in. Some areas it's not, and you can kind of see it. And if you look at it really close, I don't know if you guys can see that, but it's bubbling, so it's getting really hot. And then when it gets hot, it gets thinner, right? So the oil gets thinner, and then it is able to go down in the cracks and fill up the wood with oil, which will protect the wood and also keep it from getting termites and stuff like that. So wood rot, termites, all that stuff. Yeah, it looks pretty neat though. It looks good. It's going to take a little while, and like I said, once you get some dirt on it, I'll power wash it off. Maybe I'll do that too. Just throw some dish soap on it and power wash off the residue, and then whatever's soaked into it will be in there, and should be good. And like I said, this is just a cheaper way to do it. I've used wood stains and stuff like that, and man, you know what? You end up doing it over and over every year. So I'm hoping this might go a little bit longer than once a year, and it costs nothing to do. And if you look at the price of wood stains now, they're just insane here in California. You can't even buy oil wood stains anymore. You can only buy the ones that are water based, and they end up peeling. So at some point they start weathering away, and it doesn't last. All right, guys, this has been out in the sun for a few days now, and most of it's pretty well soaked in. There's just a couple places you can see the greasy spots in it. I don't know if you can see that right there. It's like still not soaked in over here. Partly because the wood wasn't completely dried out. I should have waited, been a little more patient. So I've got a little bit of oil residue there, but it's a lot of it's soaked in, and that'll keep the wood from going rotten. It does really work. So, you know, the old trick is guys used linseed oil, you know, but yeah, you got to do that like every 6 months or something. So this is a little longer lasting and free. So I like the price myself, since I'm on a tight budget with everything. So yeah, we've done this trailer on a cheap budget. Let's what I'm gonna do right now is, because it's so oily still, and just in some areas you can see it right there in the middle, it's oily. Over here a little bit, some of the areas, that those 3 or 4 boards over there are pretty well done. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take some dish soap, coat it with some dish soap real quick, and then just power wash it lightly, not real heavy. I'm not going to take all the oil out of it. I'm just going to try and get whatever's on the surface off, because I want to put something on it. I could just wait longer and it'd work fine, but right now I just want to finish this video, and I want to put the bucket truck up on there and see how it looks and stuff, and show you guys. So anyway, let's power wash it off. Well, I'm pretty sure this is gonna work fine. If you guys wondered. Now everybody's been wondering. Everybody that's watched the videos on this. Well, it took a little more. You needed a steep driveway. So if I had a driveway that was going uphill a little bit, that would be better for loading it. But I can use blocks of wood like this on the ramps, and that worked fine. Look at my tire marks. I was right in the middle of these ramps. That's good. I wasn't sure. Looked like it was. That one got a little crooked. So anyway, but it's still fine. It's a little scary putting it up there because it is kind of heavy going up there, but it's just something I don't usually do, so I don't know. I think I got to position it a little more forward than that, but I just was putting it up there to check it out. Gotta move those gas cans, get those out of there. Forgot I had them back there. All right, so we got those off of there. Let's look here. That's pretty cool. Definitely it's gonna work. That's the right height. It's definitely under 14 feet. Where I think we're at 13, just over 13 feet. So it's 10 feet and it's 2'6", so 12, maybe 3 feet to the 30 inches, I think, to the top of that. So 30 inches plus, so it's not 3 feet. That's not 13, about 13 feet maybe. Let's just say 13. Let's just say it's at 36, maybe on a bounce or whatever. 13 feet will be safe. So that's good there. And you guys who are questioning, why did I need a deck over trailer for this? There you go. Look where the tires are. If you have fenders on here, you ain't getting this thing on a trailer, and you don't have much room. I mean, even here I've only got about 6 inches between here and there, so you can't have any fender. Even if it has a railing along here, it would probably be a problem, just because when it goes up at an angle, these will scrape. Funny thing is, I wasn't sure when I took it up the ramps if it was going to scrape or hit or something, and it didn't. You guys can see better than me. I could not see. I didn't have anybody to spot me. But again, I put 2x6 or 4x6, and then this little 4x8 to kind of give me a little roll up, little towing thing. And then I put, oh, it's on that one, isn't it? Jacks under it, just to take the weight off while I'm going up. Because one of the things I was thinking about is just, you know, when you're loading things up on this thing, you know, it's going to want to tip this way with that much weight. I just was putting the front end up on it a little bit and down, and it's kind of getting me concerned that that thing could somehow pop off of there. I don't think it would, but it's not really worth taking the risk. I mean, that's a lot of weight going up that ramp on the back. So yeah, it's on the jacks right now. So anyway, I can get the jacks out of it, and it's still not much is changing from the tire weight. They look like they're doing okay. I mean, yeah, I think that's a lot of weight for those, but not overweighted. Look at that. I mean, it's like right at the edge of this. A little bit over, so I'm a little bit off in my where I'm at. And where my tires are is right, if you're wondering, they're right on the frame rail. The frame rails are directly under here, so you've got all the strength of the 9 inches of frame, even though it's thinner, 9 inches of frame underneath it. So 9-inch of frame. I mean, literally, it is, the frame is right here. So it's like just over from that. And it's got the wood and the crossbars under there. I mean, it feels super sturdy when I drive it up on it. It feels like I'm just going down the road. It didn't feel like it was flexing at all. Nothing. I just felt like just drove it up a little hill, and it went up there. So anyway, like you guys will know, you know, wonder, would it fit a bus and a Beetle on there? I don't know. Be nice to know. It does scrape the bottoms of the bumper a little bit, which, can I see that from anywhere? No, so it doesn't bother me at all. I mean, it's just what's going to happen to get it up there. And I didn't high center. That's the other thing I was worried about, is high centering. So they didn't do that. I don't know how close it was. I'll have to look at the video footage like you guys and see. So anyway, yeah, it just went right up there. Let's take her back down. I think it's just as scary going down as it is going up. What do you think? I think it's scary going up or down. It's kind of scary. Let's do it. So it did scrape the exhaust, so kind of smashed it a bit, but it's not a big deal really. I'll show you. But yeah, I think my initial thoughts were that I'm gonna have to be on a driveway that's going up like this and then load it that way. And yeah, that's still the case. So it has to, and it could get up this way, but it's gonna scrape really badly like it did right here. Bent the exhaust. Let's throw a piece of pipe inside there and waddle it around, straighten it out. Not a big deal, but that is what happens. I felt it hit it, so I stopped, and going backwards you felt it a lot more. Going up, because it was going forward motion, it was fighting against that when you're going backwards, so it was just kind of scraped it. Probably scraped it. I didn't really feel it going up, but anyway, definitely it does work. It'll definitely work to carry this thing. Definitely gets the job done. So anyway, I guess that's it, guys. We're gonna call it good at that. This is what this deck looks like after I'll show you, because I just power washed it off. All I do is just take off the oil residue. Come on. And now it looks just like a sheen, even sheen. There's no more oil. So yeah, I mean, eventually what I'll do is I'll let this really dry out really good. I mean, let it really dry out. There's a couple little tiny wet spots right here. I'll let it dry out really good. Just let it sit there and then coat it again and let it dry for another couple weeks later on eventually, and then it'll kind of soak in all the way through the wood, maybe, or through most of it. I don't know what I'm going to do underneath. Maybe nothing. I don't know. At least, I mean, the tops of it's where it's going to get the sun and everything, so it should be, you know, should be where the bulk of it is, so keep it from weathering and from dry rot and stuff like that. I don't know. Anyway, that's it, guys. I'll talk to you in the next one. Hopefully you enjoyed the trailer build, and it's done. I don't know, did I show you guys these things? Weld these in, put a battery in here, got the electric jack working. It has the light at night. That's pretty bright. The LED lights light up. I think I showed you guys that in the video somewhere. They look really cool at night, and it seems to be a pretty worthy build. So anyway, it'll definitely do the job it needs to do. So anyway, and I'd love to be able to get one car hanging over, project car, lightweight VW, nothing else. And this thing is not going to carry anything other than Volkswagen's max one bus, maybe in one Beetle, or maybe two buses with no engines or something like that. You know, take the engines out, whatever, put them in the back of the truck, or put them in the middle, two engines in the middle, something like that is about it. Because I think that thing weighs as much as two buses, so I'm pretty sure that's about the same weight. And I'll just have one hanging over the front, one hanging off the back. I think it's 25 feet or 26 feet long. Should do it, just barely. Anyway, maybe if I have the bumpers off or whatever, I don't know. We will figure that out later. I'll talk to you in the next one. Please like, share, and subscribe.